What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Foxhound Finance, where we break down the markets using technical analysis. Please understand that I'm not a financial advisor and nothing in this video is financial advice. All right, guys, long time no see. I hope you guys had a great Memorial Day break. I was very busy, did not get to upload normally as I would like, but I am back today with a video packed full of good information. I think you guys are going to love this one because we do have some nice progression in the charts across the board for everything, okay? Hitting key levels that we've talked about in the past, everything that I covered in live streams and previous videos, guys, is coming to fruition. So I'm not going to waste any more time because this is going to be probably a much longer video than usual. All right, I'm going to try my best to kind of get to the main points, though. Let's jump in and look at the SPY, okay, first. Over SPY, AMC, RIVN, NIO, and DOGE, the usual suspects, okay, throughout the video. So since the knife from the tariff scare stuff right here, you had a bottom, second higher low, and now confirmed third higher low. I told you in the last video, I believe, I want a convincing third higher low landmark. I did not think that this was enough to be deemed a real third higher low. This right here, I think, was strong enough. You had about a 20-point swing. This was 595 down to 576. Key level right here. Okay, bounced. Now pushing up. You can see right here, our next level back here. It's making it, it tried it the first time, bounced off of it, came down to this level, bounced off. You're ping-ponging in here, kind of zigzagging in. And it looks like this next move will break you over this green line. And guys, I'm seeing it's a pretty straight shot to 611. And then from there, you would probably expect maybe another little cooling period just because it's a historical, psychological level. You know, it's the all-time high. I would imagine that you would come up to that, maybe get a cool off one more time, and then go for your new all-time high, okay? So overall, broader market perspective, it looks very good. This is exactly what you want to see, okay? Especially because of the correlation with our core plays that we're covering, all right? This is exactly what you want to see. Now, here comes AMC. Got a lot to discuss with this one because there's a lot of commotion going on between AMC and even GME and the other ones. Let's look at the structure, okay? Focusing on the structure since the start of my channel, we discussed this channel here, right? You broke out sideways, and this is kind of this is funny. It's the theme for like a lot of the core plays that I'm covering is like the sideways breakouts rather than getting nice breakouts to the upside out of them. We're getting these elongated breaks to the side, just really trying to bore you to death. Nonetheless, I talked about the potential M pattern repeat back from over here. We are not getting that, at least right now, unless there's going to be a massive M forming over here at these levels, which would only tell me that the move that's coming is going to be much, much larger than the $12 move here, okay? That's all that would be telling me is like if you get a bigger version of this, then you're going to get a bigger version of that, okay? So not getting the M move, M as in McDonald's. I love that because I said, look, I really don't want to see it. I think we've had enough time to consolidate and grab shares and all this other stuff down here. I feel like it's the flipping point. It's time to get this thing turning around. And sure enough, here you go. You have that $3 level got destroyed, busted right through that, okay? And are ascending up to this next couple levels here, right? 1, 2, and 3 broke through all 3 of these, okay? Pretty much like 2 of these levels claimed in a day right here, okay? With this big ass green 22% candle. So let's look at the indicators, all right? We see the structure and now looking at the EMAs. I told you guys back, last video, when this 20 curls over the 50, and it actually crosses over successfully, you're going to get explosive price action. And sure enough, that's what you got here, okay? You got a huge candle off this little crossover right here. The 100 is right here. Your 200 is sitting at 419, guys. I already told you what was going to happen when the 2050 crossed the 100. You're going to get another explosive move. It is going to be a chain reaction. That is the scary part about where the technicals are for AMC and also several other of the core plays that I'm talking about today is that these EMAs are now coiled up to the point where the crossovers don't need much price action, guys. And once you get that price action above the 200, there's nothing really stopping you resistance-wise, okay? That 200 has been a historical point of resistance. And the fact that it's sitting at 419, guys, and the price action's literally hovering right underneath of it, you already destroyed all of these EMAs, the 2050 and the 100. key EMAs, I mean, you're already setting yourself up. So without going on too much of a rant with the EMAs, they look great. They look in position. Looking at the Ichimoku cloud, looks very ugly, right? It's like skinny, but you got a green cloud printed over here. That's now building. You have the price action above the cloud, the overall cloud, the price action's above that. That's what you want to see. And real quick, if I could go back, I wanted to see, I might mess this up. Like all the price action that leads to these volatile type moves, guys, is going to be very skinny looking. Like, look at this. Like, look at the freaking cloud. It's just ugly. I mean, it's so fast that there's not even a chance for the cloud to catch up, the green cloud to generate. Like this entire move through June, it was just ugly looking for the Ichimoku cloud. I actually had to get rid of that because it's killing my eyes. But just to give you that little visual there, it's not something that's going to have this nice puffy cloud like normal progressing stocks, because AMC moves in a needle-like straight line fashion. Okay, like popping a freaking balloon. That's what it looks like to me. It's like deflating the cloud. So Ichimoku cloud looks good. Price action. So 22% move yesterday, right? We had the Memorial Day box office numbers are exploding. I think the overall box office for Q2 is like 1.6 billion right now, and you still have all of June left. So we're like pretty much on pace for like a over $2 billion quarter or whatever from the box office numbers from what the trend is looking like. Okay, so that looks amazing from the fundamental aspect. If you want a little piece of that in the equation, there you go. The numbers are breaking records, right? So you want to see stuff like that happening in addition to the chart development. Okay, so looking next at the RSI, here's the issue. 22% day, like I said, because of the Memorial Day, that's the news that was painted. You had a instant red candle. And yesterday I was recording this video. I was trying to like piece this together because I have so much shit to go over that I was like, I'm expecting a pretty big red day. Why is that? Go to your next indicator, guys. We talked about this in the last video. What did I tell you about the RSI? RSI was at 85. It was super overheated. And what I was saying yesterday and covering some of my points here was that if you're going to get anything more out of this RSI, like if you're going to get to 95 or something ridiculous, then the move has to be very, very abrupt. It has to be quick, out of nowhere, super beam cannon to the moon. If you're going to make use of that last little smidgen of RSI, I mean, you're already in the super overbought zone. Like, you're not going to get much more than that. And sure enough, I opened up pre-market this morning and AMC was like down 2%. It wasn't showing any signs of like an explosive move. So intraday, you can expect that this shit was going to cool off. I believe now it is down to what, 66. And that's a very, very good sign. We want to see that. We want to see this take a breather so that you have more ammo. Like if it can even come back down to like 56 before the next big push, I would be very happy with that. Because again, it's just showing me that the progression is going to continue, right? And even back here, guys, like look, the RSI is identical, 84, 85 from a year ago with the move here, okay? I don't believe like this move is like equivalent, you know what I'm saying? Like on the RSI it is because of how fast it moved. But at the end of the day, you have to cool off when you're hitting this freaking super overbought zone. Boom, boom. That's just showing you right there in front of you. Like, it's a no-brainer for me. I knew this had to cool down today. You could have probably played like puts to the downside on this shit because it went down 12%, I think, today so far. It looks like it's trying to like eat back up a little bit of the losses today, but still, I mean, that was like a key giveaway for me. Is an RSI was at 85. You know, if you're not going to get the speed of the move, like look at how fast this happened in 2 days in the pre-market. Okay. And this came from 39 on the RSI, this big 2-day candle when it hit the $12. Like if you're going to get to these crazy numbers, guys, you have to have the speed and volume come in very quickly, okay? And in pre-market, that's what happened those 2 days, and that's when you saw 39 RSI all the way to 85 RSI, just like that, okay? That's enough of the freaking RSI, but that was kind of a dead giveaway, guys. Next, I wanted to show you guys this last piece of the puzzle here, just so that you can understand the magnitude of what you're dealing with. The volume profile. Right here, you guys can see that the volume traded was most heavy at these levels right here, the price. Price action is now exceeding that bar, and it is eating up all these other bars. The shorter the bars get on the VP, the volume profile, the easier that the resistance is to break, okay? So when you bump into a bar like this, you can see it's another very big bar. It stands out, right? Among all these other ones. Look, you have 1, 2, 3. These are your 3 biggest bars here, okay? Point of control was 270. You're far above the point of control now, okay? So looking at this going forward, this is on the daily perspective. I want to bump it over to the weekly perspective. Look at this. So on the weekly, this is going to be kind of a fucking stretch here. Looking at the weekly, you can see that the point of control, guys, is $5. Look at this big bar right here, okay? So when you break past this big bar, you're sitting at what, 350, something like that. When we get past this bar, look at what the resistance looks like. The bars are getting much, much shorter and almost non-existent up through here. And that's what I told you guys, that with this waterfall cliff move, when you get out of here, when you get out of this level, you pretty much have a straight shot, because look at the freaking volume profile. It's telling you there's no resistance there. Let's jump over to the monthly real quick. Look at this. Huge amount of volume down here. I mean, it's massive. Like, look at this resistance right here. When you break point of control, 8.9, right? $8.90. When you break this point of control, guys, and you close above this bar, look at what remains. There's not much here, okay? All these price levels can just get 8 back up again, in theory, right? Based on the technicals. Like, look, it's showing you right here. When you break this huge-ass resistance bar, you're just going to, there's not much here to stop you. What, you're going to get caught on these? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, this is the only thing really in the way of AMC getting back above, at least to the top of the cliff here, at this $49, $50 level over here. After this, guys, it's just thin. There's just nothing here. That's why my levels, like when I'm looking at them, match up very nicely, because again, you break this bar, you have at least a decent shot even to the 110. I mean, look at this. So I wanted to show you guys that. That was very, very interesting. So what do we expect going forward for this thing? That's the big key, right? I would imagine you're going to get the cool off, and you're going to get the next move, and it's going to probably break through these next few levels here, right? You probably break back through these levels again here. Maybe if we're lucky, we can get some continuation to Friday. It would be beautiful to have this come up here, close above the weekly VP, like I just told you. If you can close above the point of control on the weekly, bring it right here, 480, 540, whatever, right? If we can close around in that range above that 556 level, which is basically the top of the channel right here, right? The breakdown point, 556. If you can even close up to that, guys, this thing is probably going to go nuclear off that level. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen with AMC, okay? So that would look phenomenal. And then think about it from this perspective, like I just showed you on the monthly. If you exceed that 556 point of control on the weekly, there's no resistance in your way. When you bump it to the monthly, you would need to get a nice close above 890. If you guys get a close above 890 convincingly, it's pretty much off to the races, and we are in that sort of squeeze cycle like January 2021. That's the bottom line, okay? Looking at Dogecoin, I will go over these ones very quickly. Again, moving at a much faster rate. You are consolidating, but not down at these levels. You're consolidating higher. So I imagine this is what you're going to continue to see with Doge and its progression throughout the summer. Is you're going to get big moves, a little bit of consolidation, another big move, consolidation, another big move, and then so on and so forth. And it is following that pattern to a T. You're not getting much breakdown here, guys. It looks like it's establishing a nice support zone here, building this right here. It's like a little cup and handle that I imagine is going to play out with a, some kind of explosive move to the upside, probably piercing through this 29 cent level, maybe up to the 33 cent level next. Okay, you have some tight levels in here bunched up together, so those could get taken all at once. But I would imagine from this level here, you would want to at least get through here, maybe in the mid zone, right? And then come back down and maybe ride the top of this 29 cents, 30 cents level. Okay, so Doge looking very, very good. Again, playing out a similar fractal pattern, guys. And I think that all the price targets that I have on paper make sense, considering that this has been doubling every single big run, right? These moves have been doubling. 48 cents times 2 would give you 97 cents to $1, okay? But in the interim, right, in the short term, you would definitely want to get back up this little channel here. That would bring you to 44 cents-ish. If you get back to the 48 cents, guys, and have strength there and then continue off that, you're probably looking at something like this, coming up to 74 cents. And that is the previous all-time high back in 2021. So again, if you exceed this level, you're probably headed to my target of at least, 97 cents to $1. That's what would make sense in terms of the overall progression, what you're seeing pattern-wise play out right here. Okay, so that is Doge. Looks beautiful. NIO, look at this one. Breaking out sideways, like I said in the beginning of the AMC rant that I just went on. Breaking out sideways and doing it very ugly. The retest, the confirmation of this green line is essentially being treated as the channel test. Okay. Now, when I was talking about like RIVN, you'll see that how the channel test will play out is, it'll break up and then come back down to the blue line. However, the green line is acting as that now because you broke sideways. You can't really, I guess you can't really, you could test the channel like from down here, but it just would be kind of extreme. It could still play out that way. But from what I'm seeing, it looks like NIO is testing this green support as the, extension of the channel, right? The test, and then you should get some price action off that. And you can kind of see right here, this candle's struggling. It's trying to hold it. I would imagine if you break the green line, then your real test is going to confirm down here at like 260, which would be absolutely bonkers to come down here, and then you'd get some kind of crazy explosive move off that. I would imagine. Because if you continue breaking through the blue channel, guys, you're like going into nowhereville. Like there's nothing down here. Other than previous levels in the other fractal. But again, this one is playing out very similar to 2018 IPO. That 1.5 year channel, okay, broke to the upside, guys. You got a 17x move from here and like a 55x move from like the $1.19 level or something like that. So again, I'm watching this one for multiple levels of potential, which the first one would be, getting to the top of this channel at $24. And then from there, we will see like how this thing goes. But I would imagine like this is the first thing that you want to look at structure wise in terms of price targets, right? And again, probably coming up to at least first the $8, probably get up to the 16, and then your $24, $25. Okay. And like a 1, 2, 3 step basically. All right, is what I would say. There's like little levels in between here, like this guy, which would be, 970 or something, but nonetheless, your big key touching points on this channel are those levels right there. So NIO looks very good, guys. Looking at that one, it's about ready to pop at any second. I mean, it's just been, look at how it's riding the support here on the freaking weekly even. I mean, this thing looks ready to go. So NIO looks amazing. Nothing much there other than just, typical pattern playing out. I still have all this freaking, let's get this out of here real quick. I have not taken these off since the live stream. Holy shit. Okay. So in here, we have RIVN. Let's get rid of all that. All right, on the daily, we did get the channel break, guys. And I said, man, this is a very exciting time because you have a 2 year or 1 year pretty much. What is this, a year or 2 years? No, it's fucking like 2 years. This is a 2 year channel that's playing out here in front of you. And you broke it. You just broke a 2 year descending channel, guys. So look at this right here. Pops out. And now looks to me like this is going to come back down to the top of this. I said in the last video, you would probably be looking at RIVN coming down to the $13 level, which would be the top of the channel here, get a confirmation test, and then you would explode off for the next big push, right? Up the next level, which again might be, I mean, you have $17 right there. Could be coming up to the 18. That's why I had those levels up just now. It would just be basically ascending back up this channel until you get to the $28 level right here. Okay. And again, I'm keeping it in perspective. Like, let's focus on the 2-year structure before we look at the rest of the chart, because you got to get out of this zone first before you're looking at those big numbers. Okay. So again, coming down, test the channel, will probably bounce off this and continue to ascend based on what I'm seeing, based on the sentiment in the news. Everything just lines up. So this looks very good. I know you're getting a green candle in here like this, but I imagine you're going to get something that's going to happen that's going to bring this down. I can't imagine this does not test the channel and you just continue. I just don't think you're going to get continuation from here. Looking at the EMAs, you could see it bounced on the 20, but the 50 is right down below the 20, right on the channel, guys. I can imagine that a candle that would break through this 20. I mean, it looks like it's trying to act as support. The 20 is trying to act as support. But to me, I feel like you'll get another candle down to the 50, which is in line with where the top of that channel is, okay? Once you get that confirmation right here, guys, I would expect the EMAs to continue to expand, and you'll get the next big push up. Probably, like I said, I mean, it's hard to say because, like, you already hit 17. To me, you could just get the top of the channel on the next big push. You could come down to this, and then you could start to get, like, I mean, that'd be 25 bucks right here. So just pay attention to that. That's what I'm thinking. So everything looks very good for RIVN. All right. Not much else to see here today, guys. Keep your cool. Don't really get in the mix on Twitter with people and the negative sentiment, people who don't understand the market and the technicals and stuff like that and can't really read between the lines, because it will shift your momentum. It'll put you in a bad headspace if you're not careful. But everything that I just showed you should give you some kind of confidence that, I mean, look at this. I just don't see this move shutting down anytime soon. I get it. Got a big red candle, and that sucks the air out of people. But I'm telling you right now, this has never looked better. Okay. Even from a Bollinger Band perspective, I shared this on the last live stream, and this is the last freaking thing I'll say in the video. But your Bollinger Bands right here from 2021, guys, look at how they were then. Look at how tight they are now. There's more pressure now than there ever has been in this stock's history. We have never seen the Bollinger Bands be this tight in here. Okay? Just need you to understand that. All right? You guys have a great day. I will see you guys in another update video, probably end of week, because I do imagine there'll be some kind of move going into Friday, end of the week. Alrighty? So I will see you guys then. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, guys. We're going to be following this all the way to the very, very end. And I do believe the end is near in terms of this overall move for AMC. Like, it's going to hit its peak very soon. I mean, it's right in line with everything that we've been following. So I do imagine we're going to get one of our targets, man. So good luck to everybody out there. I will see you in the next video.